All I gotta say is Stylecraft dropped a nice one on me today. This quite possibly is the best clipper ever created, ever thought of by mankind, with the best motor ever put in a clipper, which was the best seller of any clipper ever. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube Barber Academy, where we have over 600 videos and the library continues to deepen every day. Now, we got a really exciting product, and I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now. I bet this is probably going to be one of the best selling clippers of all time. So, what are the features? What does it compare to? What is it like using it? Because everybody got theirs today. This is actually Halloween. But I've actually had mine for about a month. I've ran it through the gauntlet. I've tested it on a ton of different types of haircuts, and I got some information that I want to share with you. Right off the bat, you're going to see that it is a very sleek housing. It is a little bit bigger than the Instinct. So if I compare these two side by side, you'll notice it's a little longer than the Instinct, and it's a much better shape for the size of my hands. If I wanted to talk about the Instinct for a second, I would say this is probably the most powerful, fun to use clipper, very predictable. You're going to get some great cuts out of this. But I got these big old meat hooks for hands, and sometimes my hand would cramp after long periods of time, and I'd find myself holding it in kind of like odd little ways. But what's nice about this new Instinct X is the housing is actually a lot like a Ergo or a Rogue, which is something that I'm really a big fan of that housing, and I love the way this fits my hand. So I have felt no fatigue whatsoever. And the features are, you have your click lever like usual. You also have that stretch bracket. If you want to increase the throw of your lever, it will open all the way to a number 1. If you do that, you'll remove the clicks. But I don't really do that. I like the guard system how it is. So, personally, I didn't go for the stretch lever. Now, if you look right here and here, you're going to see the micro USB ports. You actually can put a magnet in that port, and you can use a magnet to charge many of the tools in the Stylecraft line. I've been doing this craft for a long time, and I've seen a lot of the bigger companies kind of sit on the sidelines while Gamma and Stylecraft had continued to innovate. So now I noticed that the Babyliss machines, many of them come with USB-C ports. The new Wall High-Vis comes with a USB-C port. Our new Uno 2.0 comes with a USB-C port. And you're seeing that a lot of the industry is starting to conform to some of the stuff that Stylecraft and Gamma has been doing for a long time. So some of these other companies that are just continuing to innovate are going to push these bigger companies to produce better products, and I couldn't be happier to be a barber right now and be able to be using all of this cutting edge technology. Now, one of the main features about both the Instinct and the Instinct X is the vector motor technology. Now what that is they have something that they call intuitive torque control, which means that in under 2 milliseconds, the motor will speed up to meet any resistance that it senses. So if I go ahead and try to stop this blade, watch what happens. The motor powers up instantly, and that provides a very predictable cut when you're using it. So for clipper over comb, going through bulk, and for fading, this is just an all-around excellent machine. One of the other things that all the influencers got was this really dope barber smock, which of course you can purchase, but it's camouflage. It's like dark camo. And one of the things I really like about it is a lot of times I'll put my cell phone right here and I can actually shoot video like right in front of my hands. So that's a really cool little feature there, but also it has some nice pockets, and this one is super, super light. You can't even tell it's on you. And in all honesty, I'm probably going to wear this a lot going forward. I was never really a huge fan of these barber smocks, but just putting tools in them and making things easier to grab, you gotta love it. So that's a really cool little thing that the influencers got. But of course, if you guys are interested in purchasing any of these tools, you guys can use my code Eddie. You can save 10%. Now, if you look at this wall behind me, you'll see that I've reviewed practically everything in the industry, and things continue to come in every day. So we had the biggest unboxing ever on the channel. If you guys didn't check that out, Williamsport Barber Supply, they sent me over $3,000 worth of stuff, and little by little, we're gonna go through all of those reviews. But as of right now, as of year to date, I have never picked up a clipper that felt so comfortable and was just so fun to use right out of the box for clipper over comb, fading, giving me some great control, and just being all around very predictable. What does it compare to? Honestly, other than the Instinct, the original Instinct, it really doesn't compare to much because there is no other motor technology like this in any other clippers. So it's hard for me to say it compares to much other than the power of detachable and the ease of fading with something that has a lever. I mean, that's really the best I could do, at this point. So across the board, I've used it on a bunch of different hair types. Okay, so to tell you about this next feature, I gotta tell you a little history lesson here. When the original blades came out for the very first ergos and many of the other clippers, they had what they called a shallow tooth cutter. And they found that performed pretty well across the board on most hair types. But in certain circumstances, it didn't cut the hair as smoothly as their newest blade. So they would come out with a slim deep tooth cutter. That's what you're going to find on the Rebel and many of the other clippers that are in their line. But this one has an all new cutter that honestly performs really good across the board on all textures. So this is called the Shallow 2.0 cutter. And as of my knowledge right now, I believe this is the only unit that comes with it so far. So when we get machines, we got guys like Chad in here and me and Kenny and all these other guys in here, and they're always tinkering with stuff. And we love this Shallow 2.0 cutter, and we settled on actually using it with a Vapor blade. So I had a gold Vapor blade. Once I put this on the top, I knew that I was home because I got a little bit more forgiveness than I got out of the Fade blade, and I had that great performance in cutting across the board on all hair types, from kids with that vellus hair to some of the thickest and coarsest hair that I've come in contact with. So now that I have two, in all likelihood, what I will probably do is put a taper blade on my other one. And, having two of the same clipper can really help you in this way. I'll tell you this. You develop some muscle memory when you start to flick, when you start to work. And when you're switching clippers that are different sizes and different weights, it takes your brain like a second to readjust to that speed and that weight. So I like using two of the exact same clippers and two of the exact same trimmers. One I'll set close, one I'll have a little bit set back. So if I put a taper blade on this one, I'm probably going to set it back, and that's going to allow me to hit every length across the board and give me the flexibility when fading to just make sure that I have it all covered. As time moves on and technology moves forward, each company, when they release the second version of something, it gets a little better, and it is no different with the Instinct X. So I do feel like the Instinct X has a slight edge in performance over the previous Instinct. I've noticed that it just cuts smoother, it doesn't vibrate as much, and it doesn't seem to be as loud. And the other thing that I would say going forward, I would like to see it get a micro USB-C port. That would be cool, but the USB port is cool because they actually give you a USB cable in the box, and I know a lot of people don't have micro USB cables laying around like we used to. And the only other thing I would say is the housing. I always work with gloves, so it's really not that slippery when you grab it with a glove, but it is a little bit slippery. So you'll notice that I actually grabbed one of the rubber bands, I put that on there, and that's made a really nice difference, and it just feels super comfortable in the hand now. So probably in the future, who knows, we'll start to see micro USB-C ports coming in the majority of the machines. But at the end of the day, I got to be thankful for Gamma and Stylecraft, because it looks like they innovated so far ahead that now we're starting to see this innovation come through in the other companies, except for Andis. But, hey, anything can happen, all right? Anything can happen. So with that being said, let's see a couple of the haircuts with it. And as you can see, this thing powers through. It is smooth. It is fun to work with. And I was able to tackle a wide variety of different hair types with this machine. So if you guys are looking for a machine that is powerful, that is a little bigger than the Instinct was, but not too big, and I feel like this would be really a comfortable clipper for cosmetologists, barbers alike. Pretty much any hand size seems to fit this pretty well. Okay, let's do a little noise test between the new Instinct X and the original Instinct. So first one, Instinct. Instinct X. Probably sounds pretty similar in camera. This one does seem a little bit smoother. However, it is brand new. And the other side of it is this one does not vibrate as much as this one does in my hand. So if vibration was a concern of yours when you first tried your Instinct, go ahead and give this thing a try. Now, if you want to purchase any products from Gamma or Stylecraft, of course, you guys can always use my code Eddie. You can save 10%. Now, I know this clipper is not going to be the cheapest clipper, but this clipper right here is going to plug a lot of holes in your game if you need something that has power, if you need something that can fade well, if you like the click lever. I mean, you're really getting every feature plus a full set of double magnetic guards. Now, another question that is probably going to come up is, are the tight guards included? And for those of you guys who don't know, there are a blue set of guards that you guys see me working with a lot. Those are identical to the wall 1 and the wall half guard. They actually go all the way up to 1.5 and 2. So it's a total of 4 guards, the tight guard series. Soon they will be available for purchase separately. They are not included in this box. You get the original double magnetic guards, but for now I would tell you to just go ahead and use the wall half guard and wall 1 guard until you can get that set for purchase, and you'll be able to purchase that set of 4 tight guards. So if you guys appreciate content like this, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up, share this video, drop a comment, and do all the things like subscribe. And for those of you guys who are members and want to see exclusive content, all the cuts, no editing, nothing, just literally looking over my shoulder and learning, and all the other information that we're allowed to bring through the membership tab without being destroyed by the YouTube algorithm, consider my membership. This is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'm out of here. Peace.